Hey everybody, welcome back to Peachy Disc Golf. Today I'm here at Chattahoochee Point Park and we're going to do a little sneak peek of this little stack of new discs that I received over the past couple of days. So stay tuned to see what discs we have here and we'll see how they fly. So over the course of the past couple months here in this off season, there haven't been too many new discs being released. Now that the season is upon us, new discs are getting released more and more frequently. And I now have this little stack of 5 discs here that I was able to pick up over the past couple of days. So in this video, I think what we're gonna do is just sort of do a sneak peek of each of these discs. Now, I will probably do individual videos for each one of these as like a more in-depth review, but I just thought it'd be fun to go out and try all of these out, get an idea for how they fly, and then that way it'll help me sort of plan like what holes or what courses to play with each of these. So let's go into what we have here. So we have 3 discs from Discmania and 2 from MVP and Axiom. I'm sure you can guess what these are, so we're gonna start with these. First up, we have the Simon Line Pixel here. This is an electron firm plastic, the sweet special edition stamp. I really think this looks cool, like a Donkey Kong style art. Looks really cool. First impressions with it is pretty deep. I don't know if it's quite as deep as a P2. I'll definitely dig into that when I do this sort of more in-depth review with this, but it does feel pretty deep. It's not like the most comfortable for me in like my normal putt grip or anything right now, but it seems like it's going to be nice and glidey and straight. In a power grip, it's a little bit more comfortable, but it is still a little bit deep for me personally, but I am looking forward to seeing how this flies and putts. And then we also have the Eagle McMahaon Rebirth Envy here in Proton Prism plastic. Mine is in with a red rim, red flight plate. It looks beautiful. Really, really cool stamp here. For the 3 discs from Discmania, speaking of Eagle McMahaon, I have the Cloudbreaker in swirly S-line plastic here. This was Eagle's final disc with Discmania, so pretty cool looking disc. I'll probably just give this a toss a couple of times here and there, but the Cloudbreaker is a 12-speed driver. That's a little bit too much disc for my lower arm speed, so I don't expect it to go any further than a normal Cloudbreaker for me personally, but these other 2 discs though from Discmania on the other hand, I'm very excited about. First up, we have the TD. This is a disc I didn't even hear that much about. I just got an email about it like the day it released saying that these were coming out, and this is a turning driver in S-line plastic. Numbers are 10.5, -2.1. So honestly, this might be a disc that I could use if it's, depending on how flippy it is and how glidey it is. Really excited to try this out. It does feel excellent in the hand. Really nice rim width. Feels very good in the hand, so excited to try it out. And then the last disc is the Cloud Stone. This is from the most recent Discmania mystery box here. This is a prototype spore. Mine is 156 grams, and this is basically Discmania's version of the glitch. So really excited to see how this compares. I heard that this might be more stable than the glitch, so really excited to see if that's true. It is a bit windy today, so it's going to be I'm gonna have to pick and choose some holes to use this on, but I'm really excited to try this one out. So yeah, let's go hit the course. We're gonna kick things off here at hole 1 short tee, which is 200 feet, par 3. Basket is straight ahead down the right gap here. I'm gonna be trying out the Pixel on like an actual throw first here. We'll see how neutral is it. Nice and straight shot here, so let's see how it goes. Pretty neutral. That was a pretty soft throw with like a fan grip there. It's a little uncomfortable in the hand for me. Like I mentioned at the beginning, it's just a little too deep. So it's hard for me to get like a good power grip on it. I'll have to sort of adjust and see if I can get a good throw with it. I don't anticipate bagging that as a throwing putter, even in like a premium plastic or anything, but that held the line pretty solid. It was pretty neutral, just a little bit of fade at the end. I didn't put a live spin on it, but not bad. Let's see how it putts though. I'm gonna try putting with my normal PA3 first, then we'll putt with the Pixel to sort of compare. Okay, I actually committed to that for once. So let's give the Pixel a try now. Well, I threw that one way short. My putting is so inconsistent. Hole 2 for the short tee, 360 feet, par 4. Basket straight ahead on the little hill here. I'm gonna try out 2 distance drivers here. I'm gonna try out the TD and the Cloudbreaker. We're gonna start with the Cloudbreaker. That one I know I can just throw off to the right. It's gonna fade left. Probably won't get too much distance out of it because it's pretty beefy. But the TD I'm really excited about trying out. We're gonna see how flippy it is. I'm gonna try to do the same line It is a little bit of a headwind, so I'm probably gonna put a little hyzer on it, see if it flips. And we'll see if it turns over or is it gonna have a little fight at the end. So starting off with the Cloudbreaker first. That's got some distance to it. Nice. Got a little bit of a flip out of it, probably because I'm throwing into a headwind, so definitely knew it was gonna fight back though. Let's see how the TD compares. Well, that seems like it's got a lot of glide. Okay, yeah, not super understable, probably because it's a 10 speed versus like if I'm throwing the Zeta's Moon or something, a little bit slower a disc. Did easily flip up though, and it just sort of hovers. It didn't really just want to fall out of the sky. I'm really excited to try that on a couple more holes here. All right, here's my TD here, basket up here, and my Cloudbreaker actually got like 15 feet, a little further. Pretty solid. Just from the Cloudbreaker here, go with the MV into a headwind. Let's see how it holds up. Pretty solid. Easy tapping. All right, hole 3, 280 feet, par 3. The basket is off to the left here. Just got to make it through this wide gap. Normally I throw a crave, but we're gonna bump up the speed a little bit, try the TD out here. I'm actually gonna throw it pretty flat through the gap, and we'll see if it has a good bit of right movement, or does it just sort of, does that little turn really sort of just keep it in the air a little bit longer? That's what I'm thinking is actually happening here. So, okay, it's got a little bit of turn. Missed that branch. Okay, I think I'm parked. Yeah, playing with the Pixel. Give it a try. I do have my PA3, so we'll do back to back. This time Pixel first. And let's see. I'm gonna try to go straight at the basket. No, shouldn't fade too much. Yeah, it stays in the air. Let's see if I try to do that same putt. Oh, okay. I footballed it there. Player A didn't though. Hole 9 from the short pad, 180 feet, par 3. Basket straight ahead. Just got 2 little trees to avoid. We're gonna try out all of our putters here. So I'm gonna start off with the Rebirth Envy here. This is probably the disc I would go with of the group. We're also gonna try out the Pixel and the Mind Stone Spore, but we'll see how they go. See if we can get 3 good shots. Okay, we're gonna start off with the Rebirth here. Go in, swing. Oh, that's parked. That's a really nice Envy. All right, let's try the Pixel. This one, I'm just gonna go sort of straight at it. The Pixel is a little deep for me. I had this problem with the Sky God, and I imagined that was gonna be the same problem with the Pixel since Simon was designing it. I know he likes deeper putters. I can't really get a good power grip on it, and I pretty much have to fan grip it. So, because of that, I'm not gonna get quite as much spin. Not that I have that much spin. Anyway, that's right, Taylor laughed at me. That's rude. Rude, Taylor. All right, here we go. Okay. Like 10 feet short, pretty solid throw. I put a little bit of hyzer, and it didn't like flip up or anything, but it did not dump or do anything. It just sort of stayed on that same angle the whole way. Just a little gentle fade. That was pretty solid. Let's try the Cloudstone. I'm gonna sort of put that on the same angle. All right, pretty short. I feel like with all of these glitch-like discs, I just cannot put my full arm speed into it because I don't have enough angle control, and it always tends to roll over on me to the right. But that held the hyzer that I put it on. It definitely seems like it has a little bit more of a finish than the glitch does. So I'm interested to see how that does when I do my separate video with the glitch versus the Spore, see how they go. All right, so here's my Pixel and the Spore right next to each other. Got like a 10-foot putt here. And the Rebirth Envy park job, easy. Let's make a Pixel putt from the Pixel, why don't we? Just to show that I can actually putt with this disc. It is, like I said, a bit deep and uncomfortable, so. Classic. Hole 11, the sign says is 205. The basket on the right side. Tin just measured it though with his rangefinder. He says it's actually closer to 240. I'm gonna try the Rebirth, throw it really hard. It is a little bit downhill. And if we can get this close, then that means like, this truly is almost a mid-range. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Well, I put that on pure hyzer. Oh, that's almost pin high. That has some serious distance to it. So the Envy actually went past the basket a little bit. So pretty solid, honestly. Really, really like this disc so far. We're putting with the Pixel. See if we can get a birdie. So close. What about with the PA3? Nope. Can't putt it all today. Okay, hole 12 from the short tee, 385 feet, par 4. Obviously, my normal play is to go down this right gap with something overstable, so I'm gonna try out the Cloudbreaker again. I've actually been getting pretty good distance with this. I've thrown it a couple other holes, some that I didn't record here, and it's actually flying pretty well, but that was into a headwind. Now we're throwing into a tailwind. Let's see if I can get through the trees and how far it goes. Oh, see, that's just dumped. It just dumped. So all of my good throws were because I was throwing into a headwind. I knew it. Hole 16, 210 feet, par 3, narrow tunnel shot. Basket is straight ahead on the right side. We're gonna try 2 putters. This will be our last throw with both of these. I didn't really get to try out the Spore too much. I'm gonna have to figure out a good course to test this out against the glitch. But we're gonna start off with the Pixel, then we'll throw the Spore. Just putting them both on a little bit of anhyzer. See how close we can get. I picked a pretty challenging hole for both of these, but they're both supposed to hold the line. Well, that definitely held the line. It's a little short. I threw it a bit nose up. For me, the Pixel, I just have to throw fan grip, so I just can't get quite as much power. The Spore, honestly, sort of the same thing. It's like not super comfortable. I have the same problem with the glitch also. Both of them I kind of have to fan grip also. Oh, that's got some stability to it. Compared to the glitch, I really want to compare it to that Glow Eclipse glitch that I got in that Gyropalooza box last year. That was like the most stable glitch that I tried out. That Spore is pretty nice. If you think the glitch isn't overstable enough, definitely look into that, I think. Okay, Pixel just outside the circle here. It holds the line. It does not have much movement, even with putting. Hole 17, 200 feet, par 3. Basket straight ahead, just another narrow tunnel shot, but this one nice and straight. One more throw with the Pixel. I actually also want to throw the Envy. On my first throw on hole 1, I thought it was like super overstable. When I started throwing it more full power, I've noticed that it's pretty straight, and it does fade at the end, but it is a pretty straight Envy. I think my soft neutron Envy actually is more overstable than this, so I am interested to see how that compares. So we're gonna try this out here also. But let's start with the Pixel. Well, that was super lucky. Pin high. I accidentally put a little anhyzer on it. I stood up at the end, turned it a little bit. It held the line. Let's try this Envy. Pretty solid. A little short there. I put a little anhyzer on that. That one was intentional. But you saw it held that anhyzer for a good portion of the flight before having a gentle fade. It wasn't even like a crazy overstable fade or anything either. Pixel was lucky. Almost pin high, just a little off to the right though with the sneaky gap I made it through. Finally a good putt. That was so straight though. Try the PA3. Pretty similar, honestly. I think my PA3s are a little more beat in, that's why. Hole 18, last hole, 455 feet, par 4. Basket is behind this little pine tree on the right side here. I'm gonna be going with both drivers. We'll get to try them out one more time. I'm gonna start with the Cloudbreaker, throw it off to the right and let it fade back. This one I'm pretty sure is not gonna end OB on the right side. The TD, I don't think will either, but it definitely has more of a chance to, especially if I accidentally throw it on anhyzer, which I tend to do on full power throws. Okay, not bad. I definitely threw it a little nose up there, so it killed a little bit of distance. Let's see, can I out throw it with the TD? There's a chance if I keep it flat. I really like that disc. That's pretty solid. A little hyzer, flipped up the fat, drifted a little right, not a lot though, and then little gentle fade at the end there. All right, so here's the Cloudbreaker. Basket is up here. Definitely a makeable birdie approach. But let me pick it up because you can see the TD. It's a good like 40 feet further, pretty solid. I also threw my X3, my TD out through that also. So I'm really liking the TD also. Last throw with the Envy here. Oh, too much hyzer. Into the tree. Nope, past the tree. I left myself a little work. Had the distance right. Last putt with the pixel here. Let's get a birdie to end on. Or throw it low like I've been doing lately. Ugh, so sad. Couldn't do that. Oh, it wouldn't have mattered. All right, well, that was a pretty fun little round getting to try out all of these different discs. Really looking forward to all of the new releases coming out this year in 2024. So to wrap up the video real quick, we're just gonna sort of rapid fire some of my initial impressions. Again, I am planning on doing separate videos for most of these discs, and I'll definitely go into more details, give you more of my thoughts when we do that video. But here are my initial impressions. Starting off with MVP, we have the Pixel. I think it's a little bit too deep for my hands personally, so I'm not able to get a great grip on it for both throwing and for putting. It does seem like it's got a lot of glide. It's definitely very neutral. Whatever line you put it on, it's gonna just hold that line. Very neutral. So if you're looking for like a glidey neutral putter, Pixel may be a good choice, but it is quite deep. The Envy, on the other hand, this Rebirth Envy from Eagle McMahaon, I love this Envy. I do want to do a comparison against my soft Neutron Envy as in one of my go-to approach putters. I think this might just be a little bit less overstable, and I really enjoyed it. It really does, it feels great in the hand still, and I was really enjoying its flight. So definitely looking forward to trying this one out more. All right, so now moving to Discmania, we have the Mind Stone Spore. This disc was interesting. I didn't get the chance to throw it too many times. I'm really gonna have to figure out a good course to test this against the glitch, but initial impressions, it does seem like the Spore is a little bit more overstable, has just a little bit more finish at the end of its flight. So really interested to see how it compares to the glitch. Okay, then we got the Cloudbreaker here. This disc was actually pretty interesting. I was getting some pretty good distance on it. Now, most of the throws I did have were into a headwind, and I think that might be why it went a little bit straighter than it normally would. So I do want to give it a try on into some either some tailwind or just on a windless day to see what its like true flight is. But I was actually pretty impressed. I have to be cautious with 12 speeds. The only one I bag right now is my lightweight X3. That's like the only disc I can get some distance with in that 12 speed range. But this one is pretty interesting, and this swirly S-line plastic looks beautiful. And last up, one of the discs that impressed me the most, honestly, is this new TD. It's not as understable as I expected it to be. I definitely thought it was gonna be a lot flippier, but it is a very straight flying distance driver for me. I was getting some really good distance out of this disc. So I wanna compare this to like the S-Line DD that I have, and also maybe my Prodigy H3, which is another 10-speed disc that I'm using. But I was really quite impressed with this TD. But that is going to be it for this episode, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments below, which of these discs are you most excited to try out yourself? I'm really excited to give all of these another shot. But yeah, that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't, I would greatly appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to the channel. If you enjoyed watching this little preview video, be sure to give this one a thumbs up and ring that notification bell so you can be notified when our next episode comes out. Until next time, guys, cheers.